Howdy guys. So this is going to be partly a tool review, I guess, and partly a warning to newer techs that don't really have a lot of money but end up getting influenced by older techs in the shop to go with the tool trucks or the more expensive tools. If you're a new tech coming into the industry of working on any type of mechanical vehicle, diesel, gasoline, outboards, it doesn't matter. Working on any type of motors, that's really the only relevance I can come into because that's what I do. So I can't really speak on a construction point or any type of other industry. Really, this is geared towards the mechanical maintenance, mechanics industry, only because that's the experience that I have. It's likely if you're being influenced by some older techs that they're used to the older days of Snap-on being the optimal choice as a professional tool base, but the truth about it is back then that was true and now it's not. There's plenty of other options. New technology that has driven this industry into ways of producing better tools at a better price. Snap-on has not obviously reduced their prices, in which has made other tool brands pave the way to make a quality tool at a lesser price. So we're going to get into this, and I have to start by saying I'm not sponsored by any of the tool brands. Don't matter what it is, they don't give a shit about me. The set I'm going to be going over is the Pittsburgh 70-piece screwdriver set from Harbor Freight. Do some price comparison to what it would be comparable to be Snap-on to get this same type of set, and kind of go over the usage and pros and cons of everything, and try to explain to these newer techs that they don't need to give in to the peer pressure of the tool trucks. So right here, I have my 70-piece. It's the same exact set, but this one I've used for about a year and a half or so. This one's brand new. And the only reason I bought a brand new set is because for some reason I lost that number 3 Phillips. I don't know where it went. And I do mobile servicing on the outboards, and it would be nice to have one for mobile and one for the shop instead of swapping it back and forth like I have been. So go ahead and unbox this and then we'll get further on. I'm going to start with going over this set, and I'm going to be looking away from the camera because I can't remember all this crap, so I'm going to be reading stuff. Like I said, this is a Pittsburgh 70-piece set from Harbor Freight. It does have lifetime warranty as described on the box. I don't know what that would entail because I haven't had to try it out. Not with Pittsburgh, at least. Icon, I've tried it out, and I had an extractor bit set that sheared the splines off of the extractor bit set and brought it into Harbor Freight, and the only question they asked was if I knew where it was at on the shelf to go get a new pack. So they warranted the whole set over one thing. So I don't know if it would be the same as Pittsburgh, but I do know with Icon that they warranty it all lifetime, just like they would on the Snap-on trucks, I would reckon, because I don't own a Snap-on. I don't know. But Pittsburgh 70-piece set comes with 16 screwdrivers, 16 hex key, which mostly Allen wrenches, what most people would call it, 8 precision screwdrivers, 20 screwdriver bits, 6 nut driver, 1 1/4-inch magnet bit driver, which I'm assuming is that what holds all the other bits. 2 pick sets, so you're going to get angled one, which is a 45 degree, and a straight, and the storage rack that it comes on. It's advertised as being chrome vanadium steel shafts, magnetized tips, comfortable oil resistant TRB grips. About a year and a half wear, mobile tech, shop tech. Nothing's broke. Nothing's completely wore down. I mean, there's some wear, definitely. There's some rust. I'll explain that later, but none of the tips have been broke. Magnetization is still there. And then obviously the new set, a lot more prettier. The only complaint I have with this set is the Allen keys. They're pretty trash. Get you a set of T-handles and you'll be all right. But you can obviously see the rust difference in the metals. I work on outboards. I'm around a lot of salt. I live on the coast, so I'm around a lot of salt water. These get salt water on it. When these are being used, they're mostly in a mobile aspect on a boat, on a lift, right on the ocean. So got a lot of salt water, they're going to get rust. But after a year of use, like that's the most about rust that's on them. Still usable, nothing to it. The biggest thing is this is going to cost you a whopping about $28. I think the exact price is $27.99 at the time of this recording. And you're going to get all this 70-piece set. It has various lengths, long, short. You got your micros. You even got the stubbies, which honestly, before I had stubbies, come in handy more than not. So with the, I do have to say, with the screwdriver set, you do get the most common size of Torx bits, the T25, T27, T20, T15, the T10, and then obviously your flatheads, your number 2, number 1, your micros, and all different lengths from that short to that long. It's just for $28, $29, can't really beat that. And the fact that I've used and abused these for over a year and a half within saltwater conditions, working on boats and outboards, and the only malfunction, not even malfunction, but just I'm missing that number 3 bit. And it's probably at the bottom of the river. I don't know, ocean somewhere. And that's really, other than that, is these Allen key holders. They're not great. I do have to say that. But as a complete screwdriver set, there's no way you're going to beat it for $28. It having a lifetime warranty, and I've used and abused it for a year and a half and not broken. I've used them. The screwdrivers have been used as pry bars. The Phillips heads have been used as punches. I don't treat my tools nice. So for them to last as long as they have for $29 basically is pretty impressive. So that pretty much concludes the review portion. I would highly recommend this set to a new tech. Anybody within doing home repairs or having it in their truck or just in the shop. I've gotten it as gifts for people, and they said they've used it and it's been more helpful than a lot of gifts that anybody's ever given them, at least for a man. So there's that. Now we'll get into the nuts and bolts of this video, which is primarily me trying to give some insight to a newer tech, even a tech within within 10 years. I don't know where to put this threshold at. I've never personally owned Snap-on tools. because I saw from a very early age that there was other options out there. There's no need to spend that money. And I feel like you're better off using the better options than digging yourself into a hole that you're paying off for no reason. I'm only using Snap-on as a contributing factor because I would assume they're probably the higher price. I'm not sure. I've never had a lease agreement, which we'll go over with what that entails later on, but I've never had a lease agreement with a tool truck. I've never had Snap-on, never had Matco, I think is a tool. I'm not rich. I don't know all the tool brands, but I've never had a tool truck brand. I don't even own DeWalt. I own Cobalt. Works just fine. So that's what we're going to go over. To get this comparable set in Snap-on versus this being at the highest end with taxes and all, $30, you're going to be at $787.70 on Snap-on. And that's paying outright for it. That's going to the truck, giving them cash and paying outright. That's not I don't have the money now, let me make payments. That's not that option. I didn't know this until after doing the research, but Snap-on, and I could be inaccurate in this because this is from Google AI. Like I said, I don't have any experience with it, but Snap-on does lease agreements. They don't do credit application. I don't know, they don't do loans. It's not like a credit loan. It's a lease agreement for your tools. So you're basically renting the tools, and it's a variation. I picked the middle ground at 18 months. So to get this set comparable, in which you're not going to, and with that you're going to get a 10-piece combo soft grip set, you're getting a 9-piece Torx set, a nut driver set, pick set, and a hex key set. You're not going to get these other Torx configurations, and you're not going to get where you can choose what bit you have. You're not going to get all these micro sets. You're not going to get the stubbies. So pretty much this, that, son of a bitch. That, which is none of these. So you're essentially going to get that without any of the micros where you can choose it. You're not getting the stubbies. You're going to get 90% of this set. And it's going to cost you over 18 months because they do it equates to 2 to 3 times, depending on your deal, over 18 months, $1,575.40 to get this comparable $30 complete set. Mind you, this set, after full abuse, has lasted over a year and a half. That brings me to my next point. If you take that $1,575.40 and you divide it by 30 years in an industry, you can buy one of these sets every year and still have $24.52 left over every year. So essentially, to make up to where you would be more expensive over a 30-year span, you could buy 2 of these a year versus the Snap-on equivalent, and then you would be more expensive over 30 years of one set of Snap-on. So all of you older techs that are driving into these brains of these newer techs that they need to buy professional Snap-on tools is a disgrace in my eyes. If you're a new tech, you do not need the Snap-on tools. And I'm not here to tell you that Snap-on's dog shit tools. They're not. Well, I don't know. I've never used them, to be honest with you. But I'm sure they're not, because if they were, I'm sure people wouldn't buy them. But my point is they're not needed. They're not a need. What you need is tools to get the job done. and these are going to get the job done. And I've proven that with using them. You do not need to go on that tool truck as a new tech and get yourself into debt on a lease. It's not even debt, it's a lease agreement. If you don't pay it, they're going to take them tools back. It's not going to, well, I don't know. They might hit your credit. I don't know. Because like I said, I don't have any experience with that, but there's just no need in it. Now, if you've been in the business for 15 years and you've got the upfront price to say, hey, I can spend $800, almost $800 on a Snap-on screwdriver set, I mean, by all means. And you want it to last another 15 years, and I know it's got a warranty. I don't see anything wrong with that. What I have a problem with is these newer techs getting driven in their head that they need the Snap-on tool. You don't need it. This stuff works. It does work. And if it breaks with it, well, I want it to last for my whole career. If it breaks within a year, which I've already proven it mostly won't, but if you're worse on tools than me, that's saying a lot. So if it breaks within it, go get another. It has a lifetime warranty, just like the Snap-on. $30 for this entire set. And you can buy 2 of them a year for 30 years. And that's when you'll be over the price point of one-time buying the Snap-on set. And the biggest problem is what you don't realize, oh, well, that's just okay, well, I get through the $1,575, then I got a screwdriver set for the, but what about within that 18 months, then you're going to buy a ratchet set, then you're going to buy a socket set, then you're going to buy oh, shit, I need something to hold all this crap. Oh, well, I might as well just go ahead and get a Snap-on toolbox. It don't make sense, because that Snap-on toolbox is going to cost an outrageous amount. I don't even know how much they cost, but I ain't buying one. I can tell you that. If you go into Harbor Freight right now, in the Icon tools, I've used Icon, love them, ain't broke one yet. I've only had one Icon set, and that was the extractor bit set that I beat the crap out of. And it finally gave in. The splines gave in on the extractor set. They warranted it right then. No paperwork, no bloop, bloop. I got to scan it. Nope. Only question, do you know where it's at on the shelf? Go get it. That was it. So, but I just saw a video the other day. You can go into Harbor Freight right now and buy everything that has Icon on it. Hand tools, sockets, diagnostic tool, everything. And you'll be under $15,000 for everything in Harbor Freight that has Icon on it with a lifetime warranty. You'd be hard pressed to find that in one toolbox. And that's counting a 72-inch Icon toolbox. It don't make sense. Older guys in the industry, quit driving into these lower end, newer techs that they need Snap-on, Matco, whatever the fuck other brand there is out there. They don't need it. It's not like the days you lived in where Snap-on tools could do things that other tool brands couldn't. It's not like that anymore. These tool brands have engineered, and the technology is here now, and you can go through and find plenty of videos, research. Just do your research. The Harbor Freight tools, Icon, Quinn, I wouldn't say most of Pittsburgh, but I get at least their screwdriver set. They're going to at least be very close or even beat the higher end tool brands for a much lower fraction of the price. And before all these YouTube warriors come on here, tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, because I work on motors. I work on boats. I work around saltwater. I know what it is to have rough environments, rough conditions on tools. My tools are not treated nice. Icon, Harbor Freight brands have held up to the standard. And I'm not sponsored by them, though I am open to the idea. I can be bought. So in conclusion, what this video is all about is newer techs, people that ain't really, got the available cash. Do not go, my advice, do not go to the tool trucks and get on a payment plan or you're going to be spending almost 3 times the amount of the tools, where you could get something comparable that you could buy 2 sets a year for 30 years. And then you would meet the criteria of being over the price point of buying 1 set of the more expensive tool truck brands. It don't make no sense. Don't do it. Don't do it. And if you're an older tech Like I said before in this video, if you're older tech telling these younger techs to do it, you're a disgrace in the industry, in my opinion. Stop it. I love y'all. Bye.